Welcome back to the second stimulus check update for July 16th. Now, in today's video, we are going to address a $5,000 advance. We're also going to dive into the possibility of getting a $2,000 stimulus check. We're also going to address how you can get $285 per child. Those are all three things we're going to talk about, and I got a little surprise for you guys at the end, so make sure you stick around. Now, the first thing that I want to do is thank you guys that have commented down in the comment section below of my past videos stating that I have helped you. This is one of the reasons why I continue to make these second stimulus check updates and stimulus package update videos, is because I'm trying to help every single one of you get more, right? Make it through this pandemic. So if you can do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button, it just tells YouTube this is a good video and you should share it with other people. Also, if you can do me one favor, share this video with your friends and family on Facebook so they can benefit as well. Now, I'm going to get to the second stimulus check in just a minute and talk about how there are reports of a $2,000 stimulus check, and these are new reports. These are not reports from 2 weeks ago and 4 weeks ago. These are new reports from this week. So I'm going to get to that in just a minute. But first, I have some new information, a new article that could potentially benefit parents. So if you have kids, you need to stick around and see how you can actually get a $5,000 tax advance. Now, there is an article by Fox Business that was put out yesterday. Fox Business is reporting that Senator Bill Cassidy, a Republican out of Louisiana, is pushing to include a measure that would give parents a $5,000 advance on their child tax credits. This is a pretty cool proposal. I've never seen this before, but this is a proposal that was first introduced in 2019, and it's called the Advanced Support for Working Families Act. This was, again, proposed last year back in 2019, but it didn't pick up any steam. So it never was signed as a bill. But he is trying to push to get this into the next stimulus package because it would effectively help all those families that have kids. Now, here's how it works. This bill, this proposal, the Advanced Support for Working Families Act, would give a $5,000 advance in exchange for reducing your child tax credit by $500 over the next 10 years. So effectively, you're just giving yourself pretty much a loan, where you are giving yourself $5,000 today, but over the next 10 years, you're going to reduce your child tax credit. Instead of $2,000 per child, now it's only going to be $1,500 per child. So you're pretty much borrowing from yourself or your future self. So I think this is a great bill. I think this is a great thing to introduce. I know a lot of families out there that have multiple kids that could really use this money, because it is a little bit expensive to raise kids depending on their age. But again, you can take it from me. I have a child that is 11, I have a child that is 7, and I also have an 11-month-old. So I do understand that it is somewhat expensive to raise kids. Now you're probably thinking, okay, if this was proposed back in 2019, it didn't really gain any traction or any steam, then do I think it's going to gain any traction this time around? Well, here's the thing. Ivanka Trump, who's a senior advisor to Donald Trump, okay, imagine that, she has said that the White House supports this legislation. Now, why does she say that? Do I think this is a good bill? I think this is a good starting point. I haven't read this bill. I don't know what this Advanced Support for Working Families Act really contains, other than just a $5,000 advance. So again, it's just a proposal. It's just a report by Fox Business. Fox Business is usually fairly reputable. They usually have some good information, so I think this is obviously true. Now, let's address the second stimulus check, because I know a lot of people, that is all you really come for, is you want to see, are we going to get a larger stimulus check? Are we going to receive a stimulus check at all? So let's talk about the second stimulus check. Now, there are reports of multiple senators stating that there have been talks of a larger stimulus check to those hit the hardest. Now, you've probably seen reports, I've done videos here as well, talking about how $40,000 might be the income cap for a second stimulus check? Well, this report actually addresses that. They go on to say that individuals making less than $40,000 per year were hit the hardest. There we go again. There's that $40,000 per year income cap. Now, so in other words, anybody making under $20 an hour would be classified as hit the hardest, whether they really were or not. I know people in California that make $20 an hour. It is a lot more expensive in some areas, so it doesn't go as far. People in Ohio making $20 an hour would probably do fairly well. So it really depends on what side of the country and where you live, depending on as to how much this really affected you. But the report also goes on to state that those making less than $40,000 per year would potentially get a $2,000 stimulus check. And while those making under $75,000 would still get the $1,200 stimulus check. And people making over $75,000 would get a reduced stimulus check, just like they did in the CARES Act. Now again, this is just a report. This is not a proposal. Don't get me wrong. This is a report, not a proposal. I wanted to make that 100% clear because I think at this point, it wouldn't make much sense to write a proposal unless you yourself will be in the room during the negotiations in this coming week. And as of today, Mitch McConnell and Steven Mnuchin are drafting their own bill, which they will unveil on Monday, July 20th, to the rest of the Republicans. After the Republicans have seen the bill that Mitch McConnell and Steven Mnuchin have put together, they will unveil it to the rest of the Senate, which means the Democrats. Once the Democrats see it, that's when you and I will see it as well. So as of right now, we don't know if Mitch McConnell is thinking about a $1,200 stimulus check. We don't know if he's thinking about a $2,000 stimulus check. I doubt it. And we don't know if he's thinking about something less than $1,000 or $1,200. But what we do know one thing. Mitch McConnell has stated that he will unveil his bill on Monday. He's also stated that this bill will act as a starting point for negotiations. So what we know is this is where it will begin. It will begin with this bill on Monday, July 20th. Now, other than a larger stimulus check, Donald Trump has been pushing for one main thing, and that's a payroll tax cut. Okay? Now, many people are currently wanting and feeling that this would be good. They're working, they're thinking, okay, this is going to be good. I want this. I could use a payroll tax cut. Well, is this really good? Most people don't know how it works, so I want to explain how it works and where that money is actually coming from. This payroll tax cut that Donald Trump is pretty much pushing for, he's advocating, we need this. This is technically a payroll tax waiver, and it's a waiver on Social Security and Medicare. So you would not pay Social Security or Medicare tax withholdings. So what that means is you will save 6.2% on Social Security and you will save 1.45% on Medicare, which comes out to a total of 7.65% that you would make as extra. So let's say you're making $1,000. This payroll tax cut at 7.65%, if you get $1,000 per week, you would effectively get an extra $76 per week. The reason why I state that is because this payroll tax cut would not help people that are self-employed, people that are unemployed, or people that are retired. The majority of people that are watching this video are probably unemployed or retired. That is a huge problem. All right? So this would not help those people that are self-employed, unemployed, and retired. Also, this would do very little to anybody making less than $10 per hour. So if you're making $10 or less per hour, this is probably not going to help you that much. Now, have you ever heard of the quote, rob Peter to pay Paul? Well, this is essentially what the government is doing. They are taking money out of Social Security and Medicare to give to the American people. So what this is going to do, if this passes, what this is going to do is it is likely going to cause future tax increases to make up for the lost revenue that Social Security and Medicare did not get. Social Security and Medicare are currently, they need help from the federal government to stay funded. So if the federal government cuts them off and they are not pushing more money into Social Security and Medicare, who knows what happens? Are we essentially taking checks away from people that are on Social Security? What are we doing? We are pretty much robbing Peter to pay Paul. And is that truly a good option? Now, as promised, if you have kids and you are struggling, I want to give you something that will help a little bit more. Now, if your child qualifies for free or reduced lunch through school, then you will qualify for something called the Pandemic EBT. All you have to do is go to google.com, type in your state, and then type in Pandemic EBT. So if I lived in Texas, I type in Texas, Pandemic EBT. If I lived in California, I type in California, Pandemic EBT. And what you're going to see is that you could get $285 per child to use for food. This is pretty much just SNAP benefits, or you get an EBT card, which means you're going to get money on a card. It's going to be a one-time payment of $285 for every child that gets free or reduced lunch. And you can use that in different stores, your grocery store, retail stores, and buy food. Now, the reason why I wanted to pretty much put this in this video is, number one, I have 3 kids. I have one, like I stated earlier, I have one that's 7, one that's 11, and one that is 11 months. And if I couldn't provide food for my kids, that would completely devastate me. I don't know how I could live with myself. I would do whatever it took to put food on the table for my kids. I would starve, but I would put food in their mouth. I'd make sure they were fed. So for me, I'm glad this program was there. The government put in $1 billion into this program to give parents money to put food on the table for their children, which I think is incredible. I think that's great, and I think it's definitely needed. Now, this program does end on July 31st. If you don't get your application in before July 31st, it will pretty much be cut off, and you can't apply after the fact. So if you think you can qualify, or if you just want to see, just type in your state, Pandemic EBT, and fill out the application. Again, if your child has free or reduced lunch through school, or free or reduced meals through school, then you pretty much automatically qualify. But again, you have to go through your state. It's state specific. So if you're in California, Pandemic EBT, search and just hit the first link that pops up, and that's probably going to take you to the page to apply for this EBT benefit. Now, talking about expired benefits, remember about a week or so ago, I also did it a couple weeks ago, also did it a couple months ago as well, I talked about a program. It's called the EIDL Grant Program. EIDL. This was a program where you could get $1,000 in free money if you're self-employed, had a side hustle, you're a gig worker, anything like that. Now, this program was giving away a $1,000 advance, in addition to a possibility of a loan up to $10,000. Now, this EIDL grant program has run out of money, which means they are closed. They are closed. They're not giving away any more advances. They give a $1,000 advance to your business, your side hustle, or to you. This has since been closed because the program ran out of money. So they are no longer giving away $1,000 for free. So if you did apply and you haven't been accepted yet, chances are you will not be given an advance because they ran out of money. You can still apply for the loan though, and it has very favorable rates. So if you want to go and do that, now's the time to do it. But again, the $1,000 advance that you would have received that was forgivable, you did not have to pay it back, that has been ended. Now, a lot of people have been asking for more help. They're wanting more help to make some money. And now I've given multiple videos. I'll link to some of those videos down in the description box below as well. But if you need help making money, whether it's from one of the ideas I've shared in one of the videos down below, or if it's a different idea that you have come across and you need help with it. Here's what I want you to do. Don't comment down in the comment section below. What I need you to do is go over to Facebook, go to facebook.com/homemade entrepreneur and send me a private message there. This is my private Facebook group. You can go in, join my group. Okay, obviously, ask me questions, but I'm gonna answer your questions for free. Normally I charge $249 an hour to be on a phone call with people to help them out, answer their questions, give them assistance on starting an online business and stuff like that. I'm not gonna charge you a penny. I'm gonna answer all your questions. Obviously it's not a phone call either, but it is a free Facebook message. I can help you out there. I can help you get started. I can point you in the right direction. If there's resources that I have, I will give them to you. If there's free training or free guides that I have created, I will give them to you. All right? So I want to help out as many people as possible. Just answering questions last week alone, I helped out over 1,700 people. 1,700 people on Facebook. 1,700 people. That's a lot of people to help out in 1 week, in 7 days. 1,700 people. Now, I don't know the exact number. It's a little bit over 1,700. But that's what my assistant told me. So I didn't count all the messages. She did. So thank you for that. But that's what I'm offering. If you need help starting an online business, if you know what kind of business you want to start, great. Just let me know in the Facebook message and I can help you out. I can point you in the right direction. If you don't know and you just want some ideas, I can provide that as well. All right. I've been working online, been making money online since 2006. So we're coming up on 15 years? I think I'm fairly good at it. So again, if you have any questions whatsoever, go to facebook.com/homemade entrepreneur and ask my questions there, and I'll answer any question that you have. So the last thing I just want to say is thank you for watching the second stimulus check update and stimulus package update. If you have any questions whatsoever on anything regarding stimulus, please ask those questions down in the comment section below. Lastly, later today, I will be uploading a new video on a new way to make money online. So make sure you hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't done so already so you don't miss that upload, and I'll see you guys on the next one.